Yo, what's up, John Phillips? What's up, bro? How you doing? It's been a while. Let me just share this real quick. We are ready for 1081. Dude, this chapter was insane. Was it really? What's up, Max? What's up, Ted? Yo, guys. Okay, so I know it's about Garp. That's about it. Luckily, I've avoided spoilers. I know that it continues the stuff with Garp and Blackbeard, but I don't know what happens. Also, let me know if this pop filter is working or if it's not. Like, is it better with the pop filter? Because this is my first video, not even video, a live stream, doing it with the pop filter. So let me know if it's better than without the pop filter. And how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing today? It's been a while. I have not been that consistent right now, I know. I'm going to try and be more consistent as of right now. But the live reactions are not going to stop at all. They're not going to slow down one bit. And I got some videos on the way right now. It's been going all right. Finals week at my college. We're seeing you react is finna be insane. Yo, is it that big of a chapter? Also, good luck with your exams, John. Make sure you're studying. Make sure you're studying. Don't be like Luffy. Damn, yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be that good of a chapter. I knew it was gonna continue that stuff, but you guys are making it sound like it's gonna be insane. Also, let me pull up. I didn't even pull up any website that has a chapter yet. I opened the stream before I'm even prepared. Hold on, guys. Hold on. TCB should definitely have it by now. I know that much. I literally just started streaming without even having a plan or opening up anything yet. Kuzan, 10th captain of the Blackbeard Pirates. This chapter is about Aokiji? Okay. Okay, now I know why you guys are saying it's going to be insane. Monkey D. Luffy, 24. What's up, bro? What's up? I got to say, I'm surprised all of you guys popped in already. Let's get it. You know it's a good chapter when you're 2-3 minutes into a stream and you already have a lot of people coming in here. So I'm not going to waste your time, guys. I'm going to jump straight into the chapter. Here we go. Chapter. So again, just so everyone knows, I know that it's about Garp and Blackbeard. And even if I didn't, reading the title right now would have spoiled that for me anyways. Because I didn't even know Kuzan was in it until I read the title right now. But now I know. Oh, this is nice. We got Luffy. We got Deku. We got the guy from Jujutsu Kaisen. Asta. Oh, I love this spread. I love this color page of the Straw Hats sleeping. We got Luffy sleeping with a... is that a squirrel in his... Ew, is that a squirrel in his, like, burger bubble? And then we got his legs on Jinbei. Jinbei as well with a squirrel. Sanji's reading with a couple of squirrels. Zoro next to Sanji. Okay. Zoro's asleep. Frankie's asleep. Why is Zoro's hand on Frankie's head? Chopper's asleep on Frankie's belly. Brook is asleep next to Usopp. Usopp's asleep. His back towards Luffy. So who's missing? The two girls are missing, right? Yeah, I guess it's Okay, here we go. Pirate Island. I feel like Luffy and I are related sometimes with how hard this schoolwork can be. And yes, it's Aokiji. I feel you, man. I feel you, man. Thank God I'm no longer in school. That's all I have to say about school. But here we go. So we got Garp's ship flying in. Pirate Island is there. Where will the battleship land? Chapter 1081. Kuzan, 10th captain of the Blackbeard Pirates. Let's see what this guy's motives are about. Let's see his powers. Let's see how strong he is now. And everyone is flying away. Is he using Advanced Conquerors Hockey? Are those streaks? Or is it just... It's the impact, I guess. The impact. And then you see him with the Advanced Conquerors Hockey coded on him. You see the streaks. Some armament hockey probably in there as well. Advanced armament hockey. It's gonna crush. Clayordina. Wait, what? Clayordination. Clay ordination. And he lands. Thump. Boom. He landed. Oh, man. This is going to be so good. Are they actually going to fight though? Let's see. Tashigi's hanging on. Also, guys, let me know if let me know the volume level. Is it good? Is it bad? Can it be higher? Can it be lower? Sanji is the only one awake. Sanji reading Conquers King, so basically a book about Zoro. Garp is him. Wait, what was Sanji reading? Cooking. Oh, cooking. Okay, anyways. So, here we go. Tashigi's holding on. What? Garp, that bastard. I'll never forgive you, you old fossil. Oh, he knocked down some Marines as well, I think. Or are those... No, those aren't Marines. Listen up, you snot-nosed pirates. If you so much as blink, you'll end up in a world of pain. Garp is so badass, bro. I've really lost my touch. After all that, this guy goes and says he lost his touch. You gotta be kidding me. That wasn't enough destruction for you, old man? Vice Admiral Garp. Ah, Kobe, you don't look too shabby. Damn you, Kobe. I'm so glad you weren't murdered. And then you have the gang here. Garp's backup. Garp's son sure is a naughty boy running wild like that. I can't believe he just called Kobe the future of the Marines. I can't let him get ahead. Say whatever you want behind their backs, but you can't deny their bond is wholesome and cute. Kobe. Captain Kobe. Kobe-kun. Is that you, Tashigi-san? Wow. Even non-sword members came. Kobe has like such a low... he has such a low level of perception of himself and how fellow world government Navy soldiers see him, that he thinks no one is going to come save him, even though he's a captain. Captain's a pretty good rank. Volume's good for me. Okay, perfect. Thanks, John. The volume is a bit low. Volume is pretty good. So we got two people saying it's pretty good, one person saying it's a little low. So let's leave it at this for now. Ted, try and see if you can raise your volume, because everyone else is saying it's good right now. That page where Garp is standing in front of his ship is so clean. It's so clean. The only thing is, if you zoom into Garp's face, it doesn't look like Garp. That's the only thing I'll say about this. Maybe it's just the scan, but it doesn't resemble Garp at all. But it's such a clean panel. But let's continue. Vice Admiral Kobe Senpai ain't safe yet. If he keeps running with that shackle on, he'll wind up dead. And then we see Garp shocked. Why is he shocked? Please help. Oh, that's why he's shocked. Aokiji just froze her to the bone from head to toe. He's not even in the panel, but you can see the frost all up in the background of this panel. Hibari-san. And she's frozen. Hibari, and look at Garp. Oh, this is going to be so interesting. I want to see what Garp is going to think of Kuzan too, because he kind of sees Kuzan as like not like a son or anything, but like he saw Kuzan get raised in the Marines. Kuzan used to look up to him. We saw in chapter 0, Kuzan was like running behind him, trying to like keep up with him and learn from Garp. Only doesn't know how important he is. Kobe doesn't know how important he is. Exactly, yeah. And there's the boy. Kuzan and Garp face to face. If you were to tell me to guess what 1081 was going to be about, I wouldn't have guessed this. Kuzan, what are you doing? Please hurry and unfreeze Hibari-san. Yeah, it's Aokiji. Let's hear it for Captain Kuzan. Show him, Kuzan-chan. It'd be a bad look if Kobe escapes while Teach is away. Oh, man. Didn't we see him last chapter talking to Kuzan? Was that like a flashback then? We literally saw him talking to... No, that was a flashback because Kobe was right in front of him in that scene. And we saw Kobe last chapter with the same thing he's doing right now. So is he still dealing with law? No, he's not dealing with law. He's done with law. He off-screen law. He off-screen law the same way he did Ace. It'd be a bad look if Kobe escapes while Teach is away. 2 years ago. Oh shit! I saw Saul. Let me zoom in. I saw Saul. 2 years ago, Akainu and Aokiji had a fierce duel over the Fleet Admiral position. Roughly a year after that. Oh wait, over the Fleet Admiral position. Period. Roughly a year after that. Whoa! What the hell happened? Forget that. It's Blackbeard. Let's get out of here. On a certain island in the New World. Are they gonna show us how Aokiji became a Blackbeard pirate? Roughly a year after that, on a certain island in the New World. Wait, this is all over the place. Let me try and read this in order. Okay, someone burst into a room Aokiji's in. There's no point asking who did it. There's only one person on this stinking planet capable of this. There you are, Aokiji. Oh, it's Blackbeard. Blackbeard busts in. There's only one person on the planet. There's only one person on the stinking planet capable of this. There you are, Aokiji. He's just sipping his drink or whatever. And then you have Saul. He froze Saul again? Why do you have to freeze all my... Oh man, that's not Saul. That's Wolf. That's San Juan Wolf. I see a giant frozen. My brain goes Saul. Bro, Hibari turned into an ice popsicle. It's how fast he froze Hibari. Actually, since Shiryu and Kuzan are both on Hachinosu and Blackbeard is on Winter Island, who's at Egghead? Van Ogre probably. So everyone that was saying Van Ogre is probably right. Well, let's see. Let's see where Teach is by the end of this chapter. I'm hoping we get to see Teach. Teach is at Egghead. I think Laffy is on Egghead since he is sneaky and he has hypnosis. Max Moon is you're absolutely onto something. That's another person. Not Van Ogre. I meant Laffy. Laffy is the one that everyone thinks is there because Laffy, he has hypnosis, and Laffy is probably one of the best stealth guys in the whole series, right? Like this guy snuck into a building with Sengoku, with Mihawk, with Doflamingo, with Kuma, and no one knew. Sure, observation hockey was not a thing at the time, but still. So it could be Laffy. Aokiji soloed Blackbeard pirates. Wait. Don't wait. Let me keep reading. See, this is why I don't like reading the chat in the middle of the chapter sometimes. All I see so far is San Juan Wolf frozen. Why do you have to freeze all my buddies out there? You better undo it. Man, you're loud. I'd think twice about using your quick powers. You'll shatter those buddies of yours. Okay, so we have Aokiji in a bar. You know how your men are. You're their captain, right? You really think I'm the one who picked this fight? Besides, you must have heard what happened. I'm pretty heartbroken right now. And guess who's to blame for my foul mood? Wait, what? You know how your men are. You're their captain, right? You really think I'm the one who picked this fight? Besides, you must have heard what happened. I'm pretty heartbroken right now. And guess who's to blame for my foul mood? It's not about Akainu because that was a year ago. Zehahaha. You're one crazy son of a bitch, Ice Pop. Dahaha. Look who's talking. Wish we had more booze here. Huh? Are they already buddy? Or is this when they... I'm so confused. How did they bump into each other? And is this the beginning of their friendship or... I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Or is this like just in the middle of it? It seems like it's just in the middle of it. And then Aokiji's drinking with them now, with the whole crew. So what did that Akainu prick say after that? To think we came up together, and now we gotta kill each other. It makes my blood boil. And then I said, that'll be the magma. Wait, did who said that would be the magma? Was that? Because he looks angry. I think that was Alvaro Pizarro who said that. And Kuzan's... Oh, never mind. That's his reaction to Akainu saying that, I guess. But wait, let me look at this panel. We got Blackbeard, Salmon Wolf, Lafitte, Van Ogre, Jesus Burgess, and Katerina Devon. And Kuzan, of course. Anyways, as you can see, I'm down a leg, thanks to him. I used to have my ice to replace it. I have to have my ice to replace it. And he shows us it. Oh, man. You admirals sure don't fool around. What about Akainu? Did you tear off an arm? Nah, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty nah, but I'm sure he's pretty banged up all over. He lost bad, bro. You didn't take a limb off of him. He took your whole leg off. The man, the myth, the goat, Nature Boy, aka Green Bull. Yo, what up, Matt C? Good to see Matt C here. And Ringo. What up, Ringo? There we go. Now we're getting the regular boys coming in. Ringo, Matt C, Monkey D, Luffy. All right, so we're in 1081 right now. We're at the part where Kuzan is just drinking and laughing with the Blackbeard Pirates. So Katrina Devon laughs. Speaking of injuries, Commodore, do you reckon this guy has the info on the man marked by flames? And then Aokiji, marked by flames? Like he doesn't know what they're talking about. Of course he does. There are 4 super valuable red poneglyphs out there. Kaido and Big Mom apparently have 1 each. That means 2 of them are up for grabs. Does that the man marked in flames has the last one? But there's no knowing where they are. What are you talking about? There's only 1 missing. Kaido, Big Mom, and then Zoe. Oh, not everyone knows about Zoe. Yo, sometimes I forget how ahead Luffy is from everyone else. Technically, in the race for One Piece, I would have thought Blackbeard would know this stuff. Luffy is so ahead of everyone else just because he meets people. No one meets as many people and befriends as many people as Luffy. So he gets not even the privilege. He just gets the opportunity due to his own actions of getting all these like gaining all this knowledge. Like even just Robin. Do you know how lucky Luffy is to know Nico Robin and to have her on his crew? It's like Mihawk said, he has the most dangerous ability. He attracts people to him. That means 2 of them are up for grabs, but there's no knowing where they are. We heard a rumor that the man marked by flames has one. I do? Not you. You only got that scar recently. Aokiji thinks he's a man marked by flames. I made a theory video saying why I think, and I'm still confident. Like I'm pretty confident in this. I think the last road poneglyph is in Pangaea Castle, in the Chamber of Flowers, where we always see Emu. That room where we saw Emu stab the the wanted poster of Blackbeard and Luffy and Shirahoshi and Vivi. That room is where I think that last road poneglyph is, and that's why no one can get it. And that's why the world government doesn't stress about anyone finding the One Piece, because they have a piece of the puzzle that needs to be collected before someone can find the One Piece. So they know no matter how much other stuff someone collects, unless they come into that room and grab that last piece, they can't get to the One Piece. Cosmos is here. What's up, Cosmos? You're not that late. Don't worry, you're not that late. That's Saul. I doubt it's Saul. Oh, the man marked in flames? Wasn't it confirmed man marked by flames is Saul? It wasn't confirmed. That's just people, that's just the community talking, right? Community talk. I think Dragon is the man marked by flames. Could it be Dragon? It could be anyone right now. No, that was always the assumption because at the time it seemed obvious. All right, let me keep reading. Not you. You only got that scar recently. Are they going to tell us who the man marked in flames is? Ho ho ho. It is said that man can be found. Are we getting lore to a new character? Like Rocks? I think this is going to be a new character. This might be the character with the eye patch that Oda has always said he wants to introduce towards the final saga of One Piece. Also, let me know if there's any pop noises, guys. When I talk loud sometimes, or I open my sentences, let me know if there's still any pops. I'll watch it back when I'm done, but I'm a little bit paranoid about the sound because I kept hearing pops in all my other videos. So I got the pop filter now. So I just want to know if it's actually working. But hold on. It is said that man can be found on a pitch black ship, and if anyone sails near, they end up swallowed by giant whirlpools. He may very well have a fruit power. There's nothing I love more about One Piece than this type of shit right here. Nothing. This gives me the same feel, and it's been so long. It's been so many years, but I still remember the feeling I got when Don Krieg and Zeph, and all of them were talking about Mihawk and the experience of them running, what it was like running into Mihawk. Remember the way Don Krieg and his crew talked about Mihawk? And it's kind of like you see those silhouettes and you just see very few things. And it's like, yo, this guy is... who would have thought that this late into the series you could still get that feel? But I'm getting it right now. I'm praying to God this is a new character. I don't want this to be someone we know. The way they're highlighting that man, and we know Oda still has to introduce a major character. Well, I don't know if he said it was major, but he wants to introduce someone with the eye patch. And if he wants to introduce someone, he's been saving the most iconic trait of a pirate, physical appearance trait, throughout the whole series for someone. It's going to be a major character, someone very important. And if anyone... Wait, let me read this one more time. It is said that man can be found on a pitch black ship. And if anyone sails near, they end up swallowed by a giant whirlpool. Swallowed? Like what? Like Davy Jones's locker? He may very well have a fruit power. I bet he's with the government. So do they know who he is? Are they calling him the man marked by flames because they literally don't know who it is and they just know that there is a man marked by flames and they don't know who it is? Or do they actually know his identity and his name and his appearance, but they're just referring to him like this right now so that we don't know who it is? I'm curious because now they're making it seem like all they know is that man marked by flames. That's all anyone knows. They don't know their name, who they are. I hear no pops. All right. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. I think it's Davy Jones, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. The way they made it sound, new pirate legend for sure. It could be Dragon, Sol, Emu. I think it's a new character, Matt. I really think it's a new, only because of this. Ever since they mentioned it, I would have thought it was an old character, but this one panel where Lafitte is giving us this lore, this is like that shit with Mihawk all the way back in Baratier, where Oda is trying to hype up a new character to us. And it sounds like it's something to do with Davy Jones. I don't know. I hear no pops. I had the same idea because only Emu or Dragon can make whirlpools, since Emu backwards means water in Japanese. Yeah, that's possible too. But we saw Emu's power. I don't think Emu's gonna have whirlpools plus those bombs or whatever that was, unless I was gonna make an Emu theory about this too, but I scratched the idea. But I think Emu has the water fruit, and I had to look. Oh man, I made a whole script about it, and I just scratched it. But it's possible. Let me just talk about it right now. It's possible that Emu has the water fruit because like everyone is saying with the stuff with like Sanji's mom's name, now with Zoro's mom's name, then everyone thinks Emu's Luffy's mother, and if it is with Emu's name being the sea, and if you look at the panel, I want to see when it's animated, because the panel where Sabo and that island gets annihilated, that could be water. As crazy as it sounds, it's possible that was water falling down just at such high velocities that it looked like that and it wiped everything away. So it's going to be interesting because if it is water, I wonder how the anime is going to handle it. This is the greatest arc, not because of what is happening in Egghead. That's fire and all, but what's happening on outside is peak. This is the first time we're getting just as much outside of Luffy and the Straw Hats and their island as we are getting inside. It's almost split 50-50 down the middle. And it's still more slightly, we're still getting more Egghead screen time over everything else. But when you take in stuff with Garp, the stuff with Blackbeard, the stuff with Shanks, the stuff with Law, the stuff with Akainu, and you add all of that in, it's almost as much as we've seen from Egghead so far. 16 beam tsunami. It could be. Like, go back to 1060, I think it is. Or just, let me just see if I can Google it. Emu destroys island. I was going to make a whole video on this. I had a whole script and everything. And then I was just like, I don't know. It's the first time I ever scrapped a script that I fully made. I was like, I don't know. I almost had my doubt to myself. Okay, look at this. And we see the ball. That could be water. Especially when you look at the rubble of the island, like the pieces of the island, the rock and stuff that's breaking down. If water was to fall on it at such a high rate, I feel like that's what it would look like too, if it were to get destroyed like that. Like, these long beams can literally just be water dropping at like terminal speeds. Because remember, if you have the water fruit, you can control water any way you want. It doesn't have to be rain. It could just be like straight beams coming at insane volumes. I do think Emu has the water fruit. I 100% think Emu has the water fruit. Well, then it could be dragon with wind. Okay, let me keep reading before I read all these theories. I bet he's with the government. We all know they're hardly angels. It wouldn't be surprising if they kept a stone or two for themselves. That's what I'm saying. It'd be a surprise. It'd be a surefire way of preventing any pirate from ever. Bro, guys, go literally. What Shiryu just said is exactly what I said. Spot on what I said. Literally spot on what I said in my video. Hold on. Where's that video? Why Pangea Castle is the key to One Piece. Right here. I wish I made this later on because it would get so many more views. I'm probably gonna like put all of them together because it was a 3-part theory, and then upload that as a whole. Because I want people to see this video. I think this is one of the best videos on my channel. Even if it's not edited well, the content of what it's about, I think it's one of the ones I'm most confident about. It's probably the theory I'm most confident about. So go watch this video, guys. Everything Shiryu just said is what I explained in that video from months ago. Quick theory that just came to my head. The man marked by flames is the original Vander Decken, not the villain from Fishman Island. He is the owner of the Flying Dutchman. Possible, maybe? What do you mean the original Vander Decken? Who said there were two? Was he Vander Decken the second or something? Maybe the water fruit is the third ancient weapon and Blackbeard takes it. But would it be an ancient weapon if it's a devil fruit? That could just be an ancient weapon and not Emu's power. That's true. 100%. I just think that was Emu's power. I don't want to move from this. This is what I love about One Piece, guys. Right here. It is said that man can be found on a pitch black ship, and if anyone sails near, they end up swallowed by giant whirlpools. He may very well have a devil fruit power. I bet he's with the world government. We all know they're hardly angels. It wouldn't be surprising if they kept a stone or two for themselves. It'd be a surefire way of preventing any pirate from ever claiming the One Piece. It makes perfect sense. Why had the world government never freaked out about someone getting 3 poneglyphs? Luffy has three poneglyphs. Why doesn't he have a 9-10 billion berry bounty? He's 1 poneglyph away from the One Piece. They should be freaking out, but they're confident. Why is that? Because they have the last one, and it's with the strongest character in the series. It's with Emu in the Pangea Castle in the Chamber of Flowers. The poneglyphs hold nothing but bitter memories for me. I don't remember seeing any giant garish redstone. I don't remember seeing any giant garish redstone at O'Hara. I have no idea how you pronounce that word. What I do remember is a dear friend taking a stand against the government. And the traumatized eyes of a little girl, Robin, that forced me to take fate into my own hands. What's with the sob story? Look at Blackbeard's face. He does not care about this at all. Commodore, what do you want to do? His power could be quite useful. Should we steal it? So this is when they met Kuzan, because they're talking about killing him. Kuzan obviously hears them. I can hear you, asshole. I'll send you all back to the Ice Age. Since when is this seems so different from Kuzan's personality? I heard you were hunting devil fruits. Bring it on. Hang on, Kuzan. My pal's just being an idiot. I wasn't planning on doing that, in fact. Look at Blackbeard doing damage control with Kuzan. He does not want any of that smoke. Plus, this was a year ago. Kuzan was probably stronger than Blackbeard in this scene right here. My pal's just being an idiot. I wasn't planning on doing any of that, in fact. Oh, they're facing off. How would you like to join our crew? Captain, are you nuts? You're basically out of a job, right? Got any other prospects? The guardians of justice dumped you. So what's next? You know I live by a different definition of justice. Oh, he did freeze a bunch of them. He froze Alvaro. He froze, I think, Katerina Devon. Blackbeard Pirates are the biggest fodder, man. They get frozen by Kuzan. They get frozen by Hancock. They get dealt with by Garp. Don't be a moron. You can't think a couple of drinks is enough to win me over. Hey, you've got pirates all wrong. We ain't just a merry band of chums bumming around together. We all profit from having our own agendas. That's what makes us pirates. You're free now. So what do you want to do? Sure to use very high IQ. Yep. I'm back. My Wi-Fi was bugging for a minute. Welcome back, Cosmos. I think the one panel with Lafitte explaining that man is the most important one we need to remember. That panel is so good. But we know Roger didn't go there, so the world government took... No, because with Roger, it was in Fishman Island. Remember? Roger had to go to Fishman Island with Neptune, and they had it then. But somewhere in the next 20 years to where we are now, or 22, 24 years, it's no longer in Fishman Island. When Luffy went to Fishman Island, it wasn't there. For Roger, it was there. So Roger just got his from Big Mom, from Zoe, from Fishman Island, and then the one that Kaido had from Wano. So Roger went to Wano, Whole Cake, Fishman Island, and Zoe. Luffy went to Wano, Whole Cake, Zoe, and Fishman Island, but Fishman Island didn't have it anymore, and we don't know where it is. So I think the world government traced, because we know the world government traced. It's in my video that I put on the chat. The world government traced Roger's footsteps to find his son, or at least in an attempt to find his son. So why wouldn't they trace his footsteps to where he found the 4 road poneglyphs? And they looked, and they're like, Big Mom has one. Big Mom's a Yonko. She's strong. It's going to be hard to take hers from her. Wano, okay, now Kaido's there. We're not going to fight Kaido for one. Zoe may not have a Yonko level fighter, but when you take Zoe as a whole, we saw what they were able to do. We saw them fight off Jack. We saw how strong they are collectively as a unit. The average Zoe fighter, even if it's a kid, is very strong. So when you fight all of them together, it's a hassle. And then they looked at the last one, Fisherman Island. King Neptune and a bunch of fishermen that are like mediocre at best. That's their target. They're like, perfect. Let's go there. Let's take their road poneglyph. And that's that. And we know Fisherman Island is directly under Pangaea Castle. And this links to my major theory, my Joy Boy theory too. So I think they literally went, oh man, now my brain is running. All they would have to do is go down, take the poneglyph, and come back to Pangaea Castle. That's it. Shout out JD Legend. I don't understand Kuzan's personality at all. Maybe because he's drunk. I didn't even think of that. It's probably because he's drunk, maybe. Blackbeard would have got destroyed if Kuzan had no mercy. Yes, I agree. At least back then. Be careful looking at this next page. All right. Thank you, John. Glad I read that. Oda is pushing agenda piece. Bro, post 1053, 1054, when he took that break, it's a different ballgame. It's like I'm reading a different manga. You into something, bro. Watch my video, why Pangaea Castle is the key to One Piece, why Tequila Wolf is the key to One Piece, and then my Joy Boy theory video. Those 3 tying together. I'm going to put them all together, make it look nice, and then upload a video. Because it was I had less than 100 subscribers when I made that Pangaea Castle one. So no one really got to see it, and I want people to see it. Yeah, Aokiji freezing the weaker ones is expected for sure. I always thought Whitebeard hid the last road poneglyph after he made Fisherman Island his territory. I don't think Whitebeard had one, because Whitebeard didn't want it, right? Okay, so let me zoom in because I don't want to. Oh, we're back to present time. So Kuzan was just thinking about the past, you could tell, and then Garp, hey Kuzan, you'd better unfreeze Hibari. Let us take Kobe and get your ass back in uniform. A serious Garp versus Kuzan. Yo, wait. Let me get ready for this. You're as direct as ever, Garp-san. I've always loved that about you. And that's why I'm not going to do any of those things. I've decided to live life on my own terms. 10th captain of the Blackbeard Pirates. Kuzan. No longer Aokiji. Wait. I want to make sure I read this in order. Ice ball. He puts Garp in a ball. No. No. Didn't work on Whitebeard. Didn't work on Dofi. It's not going to work on Garp. No. Garp is frozen. Your number one protege versus your new favorite. Can you kill one to save the other? Yeah, exactly. So this was his old protege for his new protege. You can't stop me like that, you dumbass. And he breaks it, I think, with Advanced Conquerors Hockey. It looks like there's a little streak. I thought I taught you to live in the now. Crack. Breaks open. It's not working. Listen up, Kuzan. He's so fast. Again, it's like in his introduction when he speed blitzed Frankie and Sanji. So fast they didn't even realize he had passed them before he hit. Oh, he's got him by the mouth. He came in so fast and he's grabbing him by the mouth. Listen, Kuzan, only weaklings lose their weight. And he's gonna, oh my God. Have we all underestimated the old guard? The old man trio? And I'm one of the ones that there are two characters that I've constantly said are the two most underrated characters in One Piece from a power scaling perspective by far. The two characters I always say, like, people just for some reason the One Piece community does not give these two men their respect, is Garp and Marco. And even me, I have Kuzan over Garp. And I don't want to jump to anything yet, but obviously they're both not really like they're still playing around. They're just testing each other's strength. Kuzan could very well be stronger than Garp, but I don't know. It's not about the feats that's happening in front of my eyes right now. It's about the way this is being written is making it seem like Garp is just too confident, bro. Garp is too confident to be the weaker man here. Blue hole. And he throws him into the ground. Oh my God. You guys weren't joking about this chapter. Monkey D. Go. Agenda Piece is back in full force. Yeah, they have been underestimating absolutely. Everyone has been underestimating the old man trio. Winter Island, New World. Are we going to see the result of Law? Are we just going to see Law done? We keep going back in time. Oh, no. Blackbeard. Shit. Sorry, guys. I'm all over the place. I keep thinking, because we're getting so many flashbacks. This is still current time. Blackbeard is not there. Blackbeard and Garp are not on the same island right now. So Blackbeard is still fighting Law. Winter Island, New World. Nope, he beat him. Just off this panel, seeing Blackbeard with a smile on his face. There's the hat. It's over. Off screen once again. Law is done. What did I say? And I'm not the only person that said this. I know. But 1079, everyone wanted to shit on Kid. People gave Shanks his respect, but it was like 20% Shanks respect and 80% just Kid slander. And I kept telling, I was saying, like, guys, I don't know why you think Law, Zoro, Yamato wouldn't be in the same situation. Matter of fact, Law is already done. At least Kid lost to Shanks. Sure, Law got some hits in. He got some licks in that Kid didn't. But Kid was up against Shanks. Personally, I don't even think Shanks and Blackbeard are on the same level. Not as of yet. Blackbeard's going to get there. But I don't even think Shanks and Blackbeard are on the same level right now. And the way Blackbeard's fruit works, everyone's always going to get hits in. It's just the way it works. But you're a fool. You're fooling yourself if you think Law ever stood a chance against Blackbeard. Like, once we cut off from that, anyone that's been, like, if you've been reading One Piece for this long, once we cut away from Blackbeard and Law, you should already know the next time we see it, Law's done. It's Banera Island all over again. Oh my God. He did the same thing as Shanks. The ship is done. Oh no. Oh no. This hurts me, man. This I did not expect. Because destroying Kid's ship really left us thinking, is Kid going to still be a character? I don't want Law to not be a character. I don't want Law to be dead already. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Endgame One Piece. Welcome to Endgame One Piece. It's not about Law. It's not about Kid. It's about Blackbeard. It's about Shanks. It's about Dragon. It's about Mihawk and his fight with Zoro. Yeah, these guys that beat Big Kaido and Big Mom. That's just the base level. It's gonna get a lot worse. It's gonna get a lot worse. The polar tang, the heart pirate submarine. Is it gonna be the same thing? Completely eradicated? The polar tang, the heart pirate submarine. It's currently sinking to the ocean floor, torn to pieces. Man, the heart pirates is one of like my favorite pirate crews in One Piece. I don't want to see this happen to them. I really don't. But it's split in half. So Law and Kid are no longer going to be captains, even if it's still in the story. They're no longer going to have a crew. Because you're not just going to destroy a ship for no reason. It's got to be symbolic. Destroying a ship is like, that's the end of the crew. Oh my goodness. You can't even call yourselves pirates anymore, let alone escape. And we got Burgess, Ogre, and Blackbeard. So it's Lafitte. Lafitte has to be the one on Egghead Island. Oh man, let me read what you guys are saying. Scroll slow. I'm scrolling slow. Trust me, Cosmos. This one actually hurts. I don't know why. I don't like. It's not like I like Law any more than Kid, but I didn't want to see his submarine get destroyed. Zoro would have survived. I feel Zoro would have survived because he's such an endurance tank, but he would have been basically no. He wouldn't have survived in the sense of like being conscious. I don't think so. I think even Zoro taking that attack from Shanks would be unconscious. He'd be in the exact same position as Kid. Kuzan versus Akainu, 10 days. Kuzan, the Polar Tang instruction hit it for me. Scroll slow. I'm going to scroll slow. So we got Blackbeard, Burgess, and Ogre. You can't even call yourselves pirates anymore, let alone escape. I got to say, though, I have to say, I'm getting a lot of things right. So far, I've been getting a lot of things right. Beppo! Oh, my God. This one hurts, man. This one hurts. But he never stood a chance. The owners of the 100 hearts you stole at Rocky Port are still living on Pirate Island. I bet they'll be thrilled if I bring them your heart. We'll have a toast. What is this with Chopper and Beppo? You really made these? I can't guarantee it'll work, okay? Yo, is Beppo about to use a Rumble Ball? Are we about to see a Monster Point Beppo next page against Blackbeard? No, there's no way. There's no way. I'm overthinking it. There's no way. Is he eating something? He is. Guys. Am I about to scroll down? Let's go. Let's see what it is. Now, what should we do with the op fruit? Sell or use it? Don't suppose you'd fancy making me immortal. So he knows about it. Interesting. I wasn't sure if he'd know about it. Keep your paws off the captain. Oh my God. I forgot. How did I forget Beppo was a mink? And he scratches all of them. But is this Sulong as well? No, this isn't Sulong. This is just the... So regular minks without a devil fruit can use the rumble balls? Look at this page. Keep your paws. Blank eyes, black flames. Off the captain. He looks like he's in Sulong. Was Dan putting spoilers? Yeah, yeah. Don't put spoilers. Don't put spoilers. Thank you, Cosmos. Huh? Did he go Sulong? No way. There's no moon. He has devil fruit, doesn't he? Ah, and he's hitting all of them. We're in an island, new world. Crap. They're escaping by sea. On this day, the Heart Pirates. Go, Beppo, go. We can't abandon our crew. We can't go back, but trust them, Captain. Wait. Let me. I'm getting a little bit confused here. Okay, so he scratches the Blackbeard pirates. Crap, they're escaping by sea. Are they fleeing Beppo? Are you telling me Blackbeard, Van Ogre, and Burgess are fleeing from Beppo? Van Ogre shooting at him. I missed that. I didn't even see that. They're on their raft, fleeing. Crap, they're escaping by sea. On this day, the Heart Pirates. Go, Beppo, go. We can't. No wonder he's the vice captain. It's not just a running gag this whole time. He actually is that strong. We can't abandon our crew. And Beppo is swimming after the raft, it looks like. It's hard to make out what's happening here. He's in the water. And he has people on his back. Oh, he's carrying Law and everyone else. We can't abandon our crew. We can't go back, but trust them, Captain. From the freezing... Oh, okay. So it's Beppo with Law on his back going after... It's not over. We can't go back, but trust them, Captain. From the freezing ports of the north till now, we've always survived. None of us will let it end here. So Beppo and Law are chasing Blackbeard. We've overcome so much together. So don't you dare die, Captain. Please, don't die. Led by Trafalgar Law, we're soundly defeated. A humiliating retreat. Oh, their retreat. I read that completely wrong. They're retreating. Bro, I have goosebumps right now. One Piece is so good right now. How is this the same series that we've all been reading for years? We just got the stuff with Kid. And now Blackbeard defeats Law. Destroys his submarine. Mind you, with just Burgess and Ogre. Law is down. It takes Beppo going into basically Sulong form. With the help of Chopper and the Rumble Ball. Just to get one quick hit in to open up a window so he can escape and not even save the whole crew, but just be able to save Law and leave the rest to fend for themselves. Which makes sense, because if the two strongest can survive, everyone else has a better chance. You're better off doing that right now. Protect the strongest so they can come back and save everyone else. And even Law is saying it. Go. Oh, he's saying go. He's saying go back, Beppo. Yo, I misread a lot of stuff here. Hold on. Let me read from the Sulong point again. So we see Law and Beppo down. Okay. You really made these. I can't guarantee it will work. Munch. Now, what should we do with the OP fruit? Should we sell it or use it? Don't suppose you'd fancy making me immortal. Keep your paws off the captain. Scratches them. Huh? They're shooting at him, trying to get him back. Trying to, catch them. Did he go Sulong? There's no way. There's no moon. And then, is that John... Why does that look like John Bart? No, it's Beppo. He throws... What does he do here? Looks like he throws a giant piece of rock to block the bullets. We're in an island, new world. Crap, they're escaping by sea. On this day, the Heart Pirates. And then Law is saying go back, Beppo, for everyone else. And he's carrying Law on his back, swimming away. We can't abandon our crew. Law is saying that. We can't go back. But trust them, Captain. From the freezing ports of the north till now, we've always survived. None of us will let it end here. We've overcome so much together. So don't you dare die, Captain. And he's underwater. Please don't die. led by Trafalgar Law, a 3 billion berry bounty man, like they said for Kid, they should mention it here, were soundly defeated. Note, wait. I have to point this out. Were soundly defeated and were completely eradicated. Oda is making it clear that two defeats weren't on the same scale. But at the same time, the two opponents weren't on the same level, if you ask me at least. Okay, let me see what's going on with the chat. Beppo, it is Sulong. No, but they just said it's not Sulong because there's no full moon, right? I thought they were escaping. Blackbeard not chasing him. You're right. No, I just misread it. Monkey D. Luffy. I just misread it. I thought he was chasing them. Beppo is him. Beppo is definitely him. Can we get much higher? Law is gonna die. He's a goner. I don't think Law is gonna die right now, but I think there's a high chance he dies in the story. Beppo for Straw Hat. Quite carrot. Beppo's big in the Akainu agenda to start soon. Beppo's always been... When has Beppo not been stronger than Akainu, guys? When has he not been? Okay, I would not have expected, first of all, the results of Law versus Blackbeard, and second, Beppo being in Sulong. Oh my god, look at this color. Look at the colored version of Beppo in Sulong. Oh my god. Okay, I guess it is Sulong. Oh man. Where does it go from here now? This might be even better than 1079. Because of the stuff with Garp, Kuzan, the flashback, and then the stuff with Beppo. I apologize if I keep yawning, guys. I got literally no sleep. I'm on like 3 hours of sleep in the past 40 hours or so. This chapter had so much. What did you guys think of the chapter? I think Rumble Ball forces out Sulong with the moon. So is it like an artificial way of activating Sulong? Is Monster Point Chopper's Sulong? I think Rumble Ball. What happens if Chopper sees a full moon then? I think Rumble Ball forces out Sulong with the moon. Break next week due to Golden Week. Bro. So we had 1079, then a break, then 1080, then a break, then 1081, then a break. Too many breaks, man. But it's Golden Week. It's not really like Oda then, is it? Law joins Cross Guild. I don't know about that, Cosmos. The pill allows him to use Sulong when it isn't a full moon. He by far has the rawest Sulong form. Chopper probably made a Rumble Ball to get Sulong without the moon. But what motivated Chopper to do that? Just being around Carrot and other minks the whole time? 11 out of 10. Easily 11 out of 10. Easily 11 out of 10, Cosmos. Teddy says, if you told people 10 years ago that Garp was going to fight Aokiji, they would have tell you are mad. 10 years ago, if you told them anything that's happening right now, that Shanks would be fighting Kid, that Kid would have a 3 billion berry bounty, that Luffy would be, that Buggy would be a Yonko, that Kaido would fall and Big Mom would fall and we'd just be entering the final saga. I wasn't able to get the full hype of the chapter because I was sick when spoilers first came out. It was still cool as hell seeing Garp get it against Aokiji though. I'll be honest, guys. I'll be honest. I don't really really try to stay away from spoilers unless someone messages me and tells me, hey, you're not going to want to be spoiled specifically on this chapter more than anything else. Like 1079, a lot of you guys messaged me and I knew. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a big one. This one, even just like online, I didn't hear it like I would just go on Twitter, even though I follow some people that will just drop it after it came out, and I just scroll through them. Like if I see it, I see it, but hopefully I don't see it, and I don't see it, but I'm kind of surprised because that makes anytime you're like not really trying to evade a spoiler. Like, when I say really, I mean, like, you're not really trying to, like, staying off of everything, and you don't come across it, you just think, okay, it's going to be a regular chapter again. Like, I got spoiled on Garp. Like, we were going to continue the stuff with Garp and Blackbeard. That's about it. But I'm surprised. A chapter like this, I would have thought would be spoiled everywhere. Maybe I was just lucky to have not heard all of the hype, all of the talk. I think it's confirmed now that Garp would have killed Akainu at Marineford. Anyone who ever doubted that, come on. Come on. Why would Sengoku hold him down like that? Garp would have absolutely killed, even if you don't think Garp was necessarily stronger than Akainu, the rage that he had in that moment is enough. But I definitely think he was significantly stronger than Akainu at that time. But even just we saw just what the rage of Whitebeard was able to do. He basically beat Akainu in like a few hits. In the One Piece world, that fight between Whitebeard and Akainu towards the end probably was like 30 seconds, and Whitebeard beat him because of the rage, right, from Ace's death. So imagine Garp. I say it was 11 out of 10 chapter. Lore, the number one thing. The best thing about this chapter, straight up, is the one page with Lafitte that talking about the man marked in flames. This is a chapter I'm going to have to read back like 3 or 4 times, straight up, over the week. And I want to make videos on this, but man, to say I've been busy would be an understatement. And I have another video. I have a video I'm editing right now about Blackbeard and Shanks. Then I have another video that I want to record today, hopefully, about Luffy and Gear 5 and Hockey and power-ups that he can go from here on. Then I gotta make a video about this chapter. So good thing there's a break week. Lore, flashbacks, Garp throwing hands, Blackbeard showing that he's him, agenda pieces back in full force. Can we get much higher? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do you think Kuzan straight up on that Kaname Tosin wave? Kaname Tosin was kind of like, there was no secret agenda. He wasn't like if anything, Gin Ichimaru would be a better example, because Kaname Tosin was really actually doing those evil things and serving under Aizen. And his whole backstory of like his motives and his reasons didn't really make sense. That's not, okay, it didn't make sense, but it doesn't, I shouldn't say it doesn't make sense. It does make sense, and it makes sense why you're doing what you're doing now. It doesn't redeem you, is what I mean to say. It didn't make me see Tosin any better of a man. I'm like, no, you're still a piece of shit for doing everything that you did. But I get it. But Gin Ichimaru is a better example, I think. I think Kuzan's more like Ichimaru, where he's serving under Blackbeard, the same he was serving under Aizen. But the entire time he's serving him, he's thinking about how he can beat him. He wants to be as close as possible to get as much information, because the way you're going to take someone down is by being as close to them as possible to understand them, their weaknesses. Ichimaru was as close to Aizen as it took for years and years and years until he can understand what was the weakness of Kyoka Suigetsu, right? And once he found out the weakness of Kyoka Suigetsu, he put that theory into test, and he almost came up on top. He came short at the end, but even Aizen, he technically did outsmart Aizen and defeat Aizen, but at that point it was just a Hogyoku, so he was unlucky. So I would say he's more like Ichimaru Gin than he is Kaname Tosin. If you told people Kid had a 3 billion bounty, they would never believe it. No one would have. Undeserved bounty, 100%. My Zoro is bigger than Law, and mid agenda is growing stronger and stronger by the day. Brother, that's an agenda. First of all, Zoro is like the second main character of the story, so he's going to increase at a faster rate than them. So the longer it goes, it's almost a fact. The longer it goes, the better it's going to look for Zoro. So that agenda was like since Dressrosa he passed him. I had him above Law since Dressrosa, because everything Law did in Dressrosa, literally everything Law did in Dressrosa, I think Zoro would have done better. I think he was equal to Luffy and Dressrosa, to be honest with you guys. And I had Kid easily at number 1, stronger than Luffy, Law, and Zoro at the time, because I judge off of portrayal and when characters are safe. That obviously was a huge mistake. That's what I'm saying. Do you believe Aokiji is working with Blackbeard to take down the world government in the name of justice, kind of like Tosin? No. Okay, you see? No, I don't. That would be like Tosin. I think he's working with Blackbeard to take down Blackbeard in the name of justice, and possibly whether he's doing it with the Marines or without the Marines. It's possible he's doing it on his own, but I think his goal is to take down Blackbeard. Star Knight is here. What's up, Star Knight? Yo, I hope you enjoying the chapter. It was absolutely lit. I enjoyed it a lot. And I gotta say, I didn't think it was gonna be good. But as soon as I started this live reaction, a lot of you guys came in and were like, and was like, "Yo, dude, this chapter is insane." So I wasn't expecting it to be insane. 1079, I was expecting it to be insane. Yo, I hope you're enjoying this chapter. After this chapter, I think Aokiji is operating independently, not secretly with anyone, just a Blackbeard pirate. I think he's operating independently, but still covertly, still undercover. So now I'm thinking the same thing. Reading these last few chapters, I'm thinking Kuzan really is done with the world government. Because even like his interaction with Garp here and the way he talks about justice, in the flashback with Blackbeard. But I do 100% think, because Kuzan's character, what his character would do in my opinion is, okay, he lost to Akainu. He's an honorable enough man to honor leaving the Marines. Well, even though they didn't agree on leaving the Marines, he has enough honor that it was a fight to the death. So if Akainu spares him, least he can do is completely leave the Marines. Whatever it is, shame, honor, whatever it is. He already had his problems with them anyways, right? Like we saw in the flashback when Akainu blew up the ship in Ohara. But we know he has his own sense of justice. So if he has his own sense of justice that he always wanted to follow by, he really couldn't fully follow by it, like we saw in Ohara flashback because of the world government. He would use this opportunity to leave the world government, and being such a strong character, he can operate as an individual unit, an organization consisting of one man, and can still go after a Yonko and take down a Yonko if he does it the right way. By infiltrating, learning as much as he can about them, and then breaking them down from the inside. Learning their weaknesses and breaking them down from the inside. He might even start putting them against each other. I could see him doing something like that. So I do think he's operating independently, but I think he's operating for good, if that makes sense. I have Zoro above Luffy and Dressrosa. I'm not going to argue that. I don't care how much heat that gets. I'm not going to argue that. I think Zoro came out of the time skip stronger than Luffy. And him seeing Luffy knock out 50,000 fishermen and then saying what he said, he's like, that's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum I expect from a captain right now. And he was trained by a stronger guy. He was trained by Mihawk. Strong at the time, I think. The part where Aokiji is remembering, you're free now. So what do you want to do? Why do I feel like that is Akainu that is saying that? I know it's off character for Akainu, but I don't know who else. Let me go back to that, because that sounds really accurate right now, the way you put it. Just scrolling through this chapter, there's so much here, guys. There is so much here. We all profit from having our own agendas. That's what makes us pirates. You're free now. So what do you want to do? No, I don't think that's Akainu. You know what I think that is? I don't want to say what I think that is, because it's just like, it's just pure speculation. I think that could be, maybe Akainu left him there, spared him, and left him for dead, and Saul came back and saved Kuzan and healed him and brought and sheltered him, so he can actually, like, because I think Akainu left him in a state where he's done. Like, unless someone actually, sure, he's alive, but unless someone actually comes and saves him, he's going to die. I feel like, because the whole issue with Saul and Kuzan was Kuzan, because remember, Kuzan agreed with Saul, but he felt he had his own justice, but he also felt bounded by the restraints of the world government. And to him, it was, at the end of the day, always follow the world government. That's why, even though he liked Kuzan and he liked Saul and he agreed with Saul, he still did what he did to Saul. And even though he disliked Akainu and he disagreed with Akainu and his actions in Ohara, he still did not do anything to Akainu. And yet he did something to Saul. So that showed that at that time, at the time of Vice Admiral Kuzan, at the end of the day, what he prioritized the most was following orders, even though he had his own justice. So he froze Saul, and he left Saul alone. He saved his life. Saul comes back now, when Kuzan is most desperate in need, heals him, helps recover him. I can see them having a conversation where Saul would say, back then you weren't free, and that's why we butted heads. But now you're free now. So what do you want to do? This sounds like something Saul would say to Kuzan. And if so, it's possible that Saul is the man marked in flames. And the reason Kuzan is acting confused when they say the man marked in flames, first he's like, huh? The man marked in flames. And then when they bring it up again, he's like, I do? Like they're talking about him. Like he wants to deflect away from who the man marked in flames really is to protect Saul. That's what this sounds like to me, guys. So I think that's Saul. I think Saul saved him, healed him, helped him recover, helped him rejuvenate. They had a long talk. And it would make perfect sense that the first person, now that he's a free man and he's no longer with the Navy, the first person he meets is his best friend who he lost that friendship with because he was bound to the restraints and the shackles of the Navy and their rules. Their justice, what's it called? Their absolute justice, right? So that's what I think. Aokiji is like Snape. That's a very... It's been a while since I read Harry Potter, but that's kind of a good way. That's, you know what? That's a pretty good way to put it. That's even better than Genichi Maru. Akainu is, I think Aokiji is kind of like Snape. But instead of it being Harry's mom, it's Saul, and it's kind of like stuff with Saul and stuff with Robin. That was like his trigger. Kuzan leaves the Blackbeard Pirates before they fight the Straw Hats. Kuzan is the 11th Blackbeard Pirate. Do you think he'll have a fight with someone? Will the Straw Hats? No, I think he'll be gone by then, like someone just said. So Saul returned the favor to Aokiji. Aokiji is known to return favors. I think Saul returned the favor to Aokiji. And then Aokiji returned that favor to Smoker. Passed it on, right? In Punk Hazard. Luffy did say he wants 10 crew members. That excludes himself, so they will get an 11th member. It would be kind of cool if Yamato versus Aokiji happened when she gets stronger. But at the same time, I don't know if it would work that well. I think I'll be honest, guys. I don't care if Yamato comes back in the story. I think Yamato's character, everyone in Wano is just kind of like, they were so confined to Wano and Wano alone, and Wano was so long that like if anyone from Wano comes back, it's just gonna give me PTSD of Wano. Except Kaido and Big Mom, because they were bigger than Wano, and Big Mom came from outside of Wano anyways. Kaido had the stuff in the flashback with Oden anyways, but Momonosuke, Yamato, Kinemon, I'm okay not seeing any of them again, except for Momonosuke towards the end of the series, just to see how great of a shogun he became. I don't think Saul and Kuzan met again. We will have this on screen as Kuzan development, and he might leave the Blackbeard Pirates after that. No, I think Oda, no, even if Kuzan, let's just for argument's sake, let's say it did happen. Kuzan and Saul did meet. Knowing Oda and the way he writes, even if that were the case, he wouldn't show it to us just yet. He would do exactly something like this, where he just shows us, you're free now, so what do you want to do? And I don't know why, but as soon as I reread this right now, because someone said it could have been Akainu. I don't remember who said it. Someone said it, and as soon as I read it, Saul clicks. Because think of where Saul and Aokiji, specifically their relationship with each other, think of where it left off. This would make sense for him to say something like this. Well, you're free now, so what do you want to do? Considering they left off at a point where the whole issue was that Aokiji wasn't free to really be himself, and Saul was, because Saul left, right? Hell, this could be so that Saul saved him, and that inspired him to leave the Marines, was his meeting with Saul after Saul saved his life. Because Saul was brave enough to do it all the way back then, so he did it now. He could be working with Saul. Saul could be the man marked in flames, and Aokiji and Saul could be just their own unit, their own organization, just the two of them. For all we know. It would be kind of cool if I read that. We've seen Juan Wolf in his normal. We saw San Juan Wolf in his normal form, unfrozen, and enlarged, the one in ice. And you can use the bar they are drinking for skill. I don't know, guys. I really think it's Saul. I really think it's Saul that says this. You're free now, so what do you want to do? Plus, this is if he's gonna think. Look at the page right after that. It's like Kuzan is reminiscing. right before Garp starts yelling at him. It seems like maybe I'm overthinking it, but it seems like he's looking back at a conversation he had with, if not a dear friend, at the very least someone he respects. Kind of like Whitebeard thinking back to his final conversation with Roger right before he died. This chapter. We have Law's defeat. Beppo Sunlong. Aokiji versus Garp. More updates on Blackbeard and what he's doing right now. Winter Island stuff. Flashback with Kuzan and Blackbeard. A lot more lore, which was my favorite part of the chapter. A lot more lore on the man marked by flames. Which now that kid is pretty much gone, we need someone to pursue this. So I'm really glad. That's another point I want to talk about. Kid was supposed to be the guy to pursue the man marked by flames. Once he got utterly wrecked, it was like, is this person going to be important anymore? But now we know the Blackbeard Pirates are after this person as well. Good. So we're going to still be talking about the man marked by flames, and we're still going to get answers. Who could it be, though? I want to make sure I didn't miss anything this chapter. If you guys feel like I missed something, let me know. This was a long one, too, like just scrolling down. And how many different things were... Man, this is better than 1079. This is definitely better than 1079. And this is coming from probably the biggest Shanks stand you'll ever see. But I love Garp too. Garp is one of my favorite characters as well. It's possible because Saul has connections to Vegapunk and they fought at this island. Does Saul have connections to Vegapunk? Oh yeah, he does. That's the thing. I still don't know, because if Kuzan stays on the Blackbeard Pirates, the Straw Hats are going to need a heavy hitter to contest with him. Do you have any thoughts? Or are you talking to Cosmos? What do you think Garp means by teaching him not to live in the past? When did he say that again? After the flashback, right? I definitely have to reread this chapter. There's so much in this chapter. Where does he say something about you can't stop me like that, you dumbass. I thought I told you. I thought I taught you to live in the now. Hold on. Hey, Kuzan. You better unfreeze Hibari. Let us take Kobe and get your ass back in uniform. I love how he says get your ass back in uniform. As if the other two is not enough. Get back in uniform, get back in the office. And he's talking, well, Kuzan's no longer an admiral, but if he was, he'd be talking to someone technically a superior in rank. You're as direct as ever, Garp-son. I've always loved that about you. And that's why I'm not going to do any of those things. I've decided to live life on my own terms. Your number one protege. I thought you'd live in that. Yes, okay. Guys, it's Saul. It's Saul. I'm telling you, it's Saul. Ever since he did what he did to Saul, even though he didn't kill Saul, Saul woke him up with the stuff with Nico Robin. That's like whoever that was that said he's like Snape. I kind of agree. But his trigger was the O'Hara incident. Everything about the entire O'Hara incident was Kuzan's trigger. And ever since then, he's been... That's what Garp means about living in the past. Garp is like, hey, we all know the world government does some effed up shit, right? Garp has to deal with Marine Ford. He knows, but he's no longer living in that past. Kuzan has always been living in the past of O'Hara. And we know this because he let Robin go. And even when he saw Robin again in Long Green Long Island, he froze her, but he definitely saved her life. He let her go. He let the Straw Hats go. He let Saul live. He's constantly been living in the past of O'Hara and his own justice. And that's why he's like so nonchalant in the Marines. And he kind of like just F's off and does whatever he wants to do without telling anyone. Goes off on like bike rides without telling the Gorsei. Because he doesn't feel like the world government is honorable enough to actually respect to the level that he has to follow every single order. He kind of like just blends in like Garp kind of, but his own way. Garp and Aokiji both have problems with the world government, but they deal with it very differently. Same with food. I want to make a video on that actually. Like the way Fujitora, Smoker, Kobe's kind of like he's following in Garp's shoes right now. So Garp, Kuzan, Fujitora, and Smoker all have issues with the world government, but they all deal with it differently. Although the same way Kobe is kind of like just following Garp, Smoker is kind of like following Fujitora. Because Smoker always wanted to do the things that Fujitora is doing, but he wasn't an admiral. He wasn't a high enough rank. He was a captain. He was a commodore in Alabasta, right? He was a captain that got promoted to commodore. Even then, he can't do anything. When we saw him in Punk Hazard, he can't really do anything as a vice admiral. But as Fujitora being an admiral, he can do those things. But Fujitora / Smoker, and then Kuzan, and then Garp all handle it differently. Fujitora is the most direct approach, where he's like, I'm not going to leave the world government. I'm just going to do exactly what I want to do, the way I see my justice. And then whatever shit I got to deal with, not showing up on base or whatever they want to suspend me, I'll deal with that. Which is the most appreciative. But it doesn't give the same character development that you can get from these two. Kuzan's way, I think, is the most human way of dealing with it in the three. Actually, Garp. Garp deals with it where he's just like, he focuses on the greater good. At the end of the day, Garp focuses on the greater good. I don't think he has any plans of taking down the world government, unless he really is a part of the Revolutionary Army, like the video I made. I don't know. Sometimes he sounds like he's like he wants the world government to thrive because it's the greater good. But Kuzan, yeah, again, I changed my mind. Kuzan is the most human approach, where he's weighing in the pros and the cons. But even though he probably originally came to the same conclusion as Garp, because he was Garp's protege, following behind Garp. So he's like, it's the greater good. It's the greater good. But the more he told himself this, the more it was eating him up. It was eating him up alive, right? It was eating him up from the inside, and eventually, everything just cracked. That's why Garp is telling him, stop living in the past. I have pain from the world government. You have pain from the world government. O'Hara, Marine Ford, but focus on the greater good. So it's almost like in this very specific argument they're having here, I almost want to say Kuzan is in there, right, and not Garp. Where he's saying, listen up, only weaklings lose their way. But is that the right way? You don't have to lose your way. You can change your way. It seems like he was inspired by Saul. Does that make sense? Everything I just said, does that make sense, guys? Let me know your thoughts on that. Also, shout out to the 13 people watching in here. 15 likes. I appreciate that, guys. If you haven't already, please like the stream. Let's try and get the stream to 20 likes. Rayleigh stated, not doubting is the power of hockey. Akainu and Garp are always confident, so they are the strongest, while Kuzan is a broken heart. Yes, I think Kuzan versus Aokiji is no longer extreme diff. The way Kuzan is a broken heart. He said it too in this chapter. He said he had a broken heart. Kuzan is conflicted. Fujitora is conflicted with the state of the Marines, but not the state of himself and his own heart, if that makes sense. Fujitora knows that the organization he's in is messed up, but he knows what he himself as an individual has to do about it, so he doesn't have that confliction within his own heart. Garp has that confliction within his own heart, but learns to live with it. He just learns to live with it. He's seen so much. He's 68 years old, however old Garp, 76 years old, at 78 years old. He's learned to live with it. He's seen it all, done it all. Kuzan sees the issues, but his heart is conflicted, and he can't decide on which way to go. And I think Saul is what he means by that heartbreak. And ever since what happened to Saul, he couldn't live with himself. And now he lost to Akainu. Saul saved him to return the favor of him saving Saul, and he was inspired. He's like, you know what? This guy had the courage all the way back then to do what's right. Now is my time to do what's right. Let me leave and let me show them that I'm going to take down a Yonko by myself or with the help of Saul. At Post Ennis lobby, Aokiji says to Robin that I intended to put everything about O'Hara to an end this time, meaning that he still is living in the past. I intended to put everything about O'Hara to an end this time. He's still living in the past. That reinforces what you are saying. Beautifully said, Teddy. Let me read that one more time, guys. At Post Ennis lobby, I think you're talking about that scene where they're leaning back to back against the wall, right? In the party. Where Robin is partying with everyone else and she's leaning on the wall and he's on the other side. That's the scene, right? He says to Robin, I intended to put everything about O'Hara to an end this time, meaning that he is still living in the past. He intended to, but he couldn't. Kuzan has a conflicted heart. He's the only Marine that just, he doesn't know what way to go. Fujitora has a direction as an individual. Smoker is following Fujitora now because Smoker's always wanted to do this. He's like, now there's an admiral that's on board as well. How can I help? How can I be of help? Because they have the same vision. They have the same purpose. Garp has his way. Kobe's following him. Kuzan is the last individual that has some type of problem with the world government aside from these men. And he's somewhere down the middle of that. When we see Kuzan's true resolve, he will be a monster. As Doflamingo said, he didn't want to fight a determined guy. Fujitora even asked him, what exactly, not Fujitora, what exactly did Doflamingo ask him again? He said, what is your status, Kuzan? Something along those lines. What is your status, Kuzan? And Kuzan didn't answer him because Kuzan is, man, I think Kuzan is in terms of like, what's the word? Internal struggles. Even though we haven't seen much yet, we get these teases and these hints. I think he's one of the deepest characters in that regard. Probably more so than Garp, or just up there with Garp, with the struggles that he has internally. But we just need more context on Saul and exactly what happened in O'Hara with Saul. Like, how did he save his life? Exactly what happened on Punk Hazard with Akainu. What happened in between the O'Hara flashback and him becoming an admiral and challenging Akainu. And in that time, how did he feel about everything? At Marineford, he seemed to hold... The only thing is he didn't seem to hold back at Marineford. But at Marineford, there was no reason for him to. Those were pirates there to destroy Marineford. His justice was the same as Akainu's at that point. To destroy the enemy. I need a One Piece fighting game now. Yo, I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait for that Dragon Ball Z Budokai game. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 was one of the first games I had on PlayStation 2. It was one of my favorite games I've ever played to date. So as soon as... I don't even play games like that anymore, but as soon as I heard that's coming out, I'm like, I have to get that. What do you guys think? Do you think it's Saul? Man, I need to make more. I need more time to make videos. There's so many videos I want to make. This chapter alone, I want to make like 4 videos off of this chapter. It's Saul. The man marked by flames is Saul. It's Saul. The man marked by flames is Saul, and he is the one that saved Kuzan. Just in case this comes true, you guys hear it here first. In case I don't make a video about this, the man marked by flames is Saul. When Kuzan lost to Akainu, he is the one that saved him. Kuzan left the world government because of Saul. He was inspired by him and his courage to do that all the way back in O'Hara. And he was working with Saul right now undercover. He's the only person that knows Saul is alive, or Vegapunk, and now the Straw Hats. He is working with Saul undercover, protecting Saul's identity as the man marked by flames, and both of them are trying to take down Blackbeard and the Blackbeard Pirates. Now the answer would be, why Blackbeard and the Blackbeard Pirates? Unless it's something like they are using Blackbeard to get to someone else, the way Blackbeard used the world government and the warlord status to get to Marineford and to get to Whitebeard and all that, right? Or sorry, to get to Impel Down, to get to the prisoners who then would help him. He would get to Marineford. It could be something where he's using Blackbeard to get to something else. Because I think now I'm convinced. I don't know about you guys, but I'm convinced. Him and Saul are working together. So now I'm thinking about what Saul's motives would be. This might be the best chapter since we came back from break. This might be the best One Piece chapter, period. I don't care. It had enough fighting. It had a result of a major fight. The beginning of another fight. So much lore. The man marked... Wait, let me read this again because if Salt is the man marked by flames, will this make sense? It is said that man can be found on a pitch black ship, and if anyone sails near, they end up swallowed by giant whirlpools. He may very well have a fruit power. It is said that man. Are you talking about him before? We heard a rumor that the man marked by flames has one. Not you. You got that scar recently. It is said that man can be found on a pitch black ship, and if anyone sails near, they end up swallowed by giant whirlpools. He may very well have a fruit power. I bet he's with the world government. I love this because this is exactly what I said in that video. Shuru just puts it perfectly. We all know they're hardly angels. It wouldn't be surprising if they kept a stone or two for themselves. It'd be a surefire way of preventing any pirate from ever claiming the One Piece. It would be a guarantee that no pirate can ever claim the One Piece until they take that stone from you. So you can sleep easily at night. The world government can sleep at night knowing that no one's going to get the One Piece until they come into Pangaea Castle, into the Chamber of Flowers, and take that poneglyph from Emu. The poneglyphs hold nothing but bitter memories for me. I don't remember seeing any giant garish redstone at O'Hara. What I do remember is a dear friend taking a stand against the world government. And the traumatized eyes of a little girl that forced me to take fate into my own hands. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's it. I think that's the answer. Though Flamingo says, "What's your game, Kuzan?" Well, like, what's your game plan? But yeah, I can't think of anyone who the man marked by flames could be but Saul. It's all but confirmed. It could be a new character. It could definitely be a new character, John. Especially the way Lafitte puts it, but I don't know. Even if the man marked by flames is a new character and it's not Saul, okay, but I still believe everything else about Saul. He's working with Kuzan, and he's the one that saved him. See, yeah, no, I don't, Monir. I don't think Saul has any kind of whirlpool devil fruit or water devil fruit. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant to say he is the man marked by flames. Simply because of that part. Whoever has a parry move. Oh, okay. Maybe not a devil fruit, but it could be something weird we aren't fully aware of. It doesn't have to be a devil fruit, because they even say here something like perhaps he has a fruit or something. What was it? He may very well have a fruit power. Saul, the strongest giant. Hadruddin said he would be invincible with the Mirror Mirror. If Saul is the man marked by flames with the devil fruit, he's admiral level. I definitely think we might get Saul in Elbath. Because it's not a coincidence. We're talking about Saul now as we are getting closer and closer to the land of giants, Elbath. Another quick theory. That man is the original warlord of the sea, serving Emu diligently for years. Secret warlord, maybe. Like the original one warlord of the sea? I don't even know. I don't even know like where to start, where to end, how to end this stream. Because if I keep just talking about what I see here, I can literally talk for 5-6 hours, and I don't want to do that right now. I just want to focus on stuff with Kuzan, the man marked by flames, and Saul. The stuff with Garp, the stuff with Blackbeard and Law, the stuff with Sulang Beppo. It doesn't even feel like the same chapter. It really doesn't. But I just have to bring it up again. For everyone that thought Law wasn't going to take as much of an L as Kid, there you go. And again, if you think Kid getting one-shotted and Law putting in some hits makes a difference, just take into account who they were fighting. Not just from a power scaling perspective, as in how strong Blackbeard is and how strong Shanks is, but also personalities. The personality of a Shanks and the personality of a Blackbeard. Shanks is the kind of guy where he will avoid fighting you at all costs up until the point where he just loses it. And when he loses it, like, that's it. You're done. He's not playing no games. He's not Kaido. He's not Big Mom. He's not Blackbeard. He's not no Admiral. You're done. The moment he sees like what he saw with Kid wrecking his crew, his family, his alliance, he was like, that's it. You're done. One shot. That's just who he is. Blackbeard isn't like that. Blackbeard is the kind of guy, he doesn't play with his food like like Big Mom and Kaido, but he walks in, he talks a lot of shit, he gets his ass kicked because he underestimates them at first, but they also underestimate him and don't understand that he's gonna take all this damage. That's just his fruit. That's how it works. But he's gonna take it, and he's gonna come back, and he's gonna off-screen your ass. So you have to take into account their characters as well. If you were to switch the roles, if Blackbeard were to end up in Winter Island, if they rolled the dice, or if they drew different sticks, and Kid ended up in Winter Island, and Law ended up in Elbath, Law would have gotten one-shotted. For sure, Law would have gotten one-shotted, and Kid would have gotten some hits in on Blackbeard as well. So it's not necessarily that Law outperformed or did better than Kid. It's whoever was going to go up against Shanks was going to get one-shotted. Unless you're a Yonko, you're probably getting one-shotted by Shanks. One man on a black ship got some Mihawk introduction vibes. We hit 20 likes. Thank you guys for hitting 20 likes. If you haven't already, please like the stream. Defeated versus eradicated. Yeah, it was not just defeated versus soundly defeated versus completely eradicated. It's different levels, but again, look who they're facing. And I like the pair. You know what I like? Killer tried to save his captain and got wiped out just like him. And now those are the two guys in the worst condition of the entire crew. Beppo tries to save Law and successfully saves Law and leaves. So now these are the two characters in the best condition. They're the two characters in the best condition of their crew because they're escaping. But I would have thought this whole time, Blackbeard would have kidnapped Law. It seems like he's gonna take his crew, and Law is gonna need his crew back. Regardless, Kid and Law are both in positions where they need help from someone else, aka Luffy. Now, they both need help. They need a lot of help. Great stream, thank you, Cosmos. One man on the black ship got some Mihawk introduction vibes here. That's what I'm saying, bro. Go back to when they first talked about Mihawk, all the way back in Baratier. The same way I felt then, those goosebumps, is what I just got reading this stuff about the man marked by flames. Do you think Shanks one-shots admirals? Honestly, yes, I do. I think a serious Shanks, like a Shanks that's pissed off, I think he one-shots every single admiral. Yeah, I think the implications is that Shanks would have one-shot everyone. Pretty much. They even highlighted that like the 3 billion berry bounty man was completely eradicated. All right, guys. I hate to end it. I don't want to end it. I really don't. I want to keep talking, but it's so much to talk about. I'd rather just make videos specifically about this. Oh my god, what a chapter. What a chapter. Everyone that's still watching right now, give me a number out of 10 if you were to rate this chapter. Everyone, drop a number. What out of 10 would you give this chapter? Me personally, someone already put in the chat 11 out of 10. That's what I'm giving it. I'm giving it an 11 out of 10. I don't know about you guys, but everyone rate the chapter right now out of 10. Before we end it, let me see how you guys thought about this chapter. Let's see. Because this was a phenomenal chapter. Cosmos gives it a 12. Outdoes us. John gives it an 11. Ringo gives it a 10. W chapter. W stream. 11 from Monair. 9 from Teddy. Chaz. What's up, Chaz? I didn't know Chaz was in here. Chaz Turner's in here as well. Chaz gives it a 10. Okay, so everyone 11 out of 10 from Star Knight. It made me get all emotional. It had, guys, think of it. It had lore. It had fighting. It built, so it started a fight. Akainu and Garb. It ended a fight. Blackbeard and Law. It had a flashback. It had a lot of, like, not just the lore with the men marked by flames, but the stuff we were just talking about in the stream with Kuzan and what's Kuzan so conflicted about, right? Who was that person that said, you're free now, what do you want to do? So much lore in this chapter. So it had everything. I think this might be my favorite chapter of One Piece of the year. Not even just the year. Like, I can't remember the last time I enjoyed a chapter this much. It's not hype in the sense that you're going to jump up and down, get off your chair and shit, because it's not like fighting. But I genuinely, like I had goosebumps reading this chapter. I felt chills in my body reading this chapter. To think we are 1,081 chapters in and we're still beginning some lore. The Man Marked by Flames is a new thing that we're getting. Oda is just the greatest storyteller I've ever come across. This late into the story, we're still getting it. I'm going to miss the days where we start new things like the Man Marked by Flames, the Warlords, the Poneglyphs. When you start lore about these things, right? Because we're sooner, like the deeper we get into the story, it's going to be about wrapping things up. It's no longer going to be about starting things. But One Piece was so great and is so great because it's always managed to start things and at the same time end things. So it will end something and start a new thing at the same time. Just look at this chapter. Like I just said, it ended Law and Blackbeard while starting Aokiji and Garp. But I'm talking specifically about in terms of lore. It will all, like in one chapter, you can get some more stuff revealed about a lore that brings it to about 80% completion. So we know most about this thing now. Something else that's about halfway there. And then an introduction to a whole new thing that we're now going to start. Like I don't know any other anime or manga that does that. Can you name a better 3-chapter lineup off the top of your head? 967 and 966? 966. 966. No, sorry. 957 and 958. Or was it 956? 956 was the abolishment of the warlord system. 957 was the greatest chapter in One Piece history, Ultimate. 958 was the beginning of Oden's flashback, if I remember right. I don't think that was as good as the 1079, 1080, 1081 stretch, but I had to mention that because that's a good stretch. Also, the stretch of 1066, which was Roger and Whitebeard clashing and the fight between the Roger pirates and the Whitebeard pirates. 1067, which was the entire journey of the Roger pirates. I'm going off the top of my head, but I think I'm right. 1066-7 was the journey of the Roger pirates, and 1068 was He Laughed, one of the greatest moments in One Piece history. So I would say this is the best stretch of three chapters, but 50, 56, 57, 58, and 66, 67, 68 were both also really good stretches. I joined midway, but I'm going to go rewatch the whole stream. Rewatch it. It was a good stream. It was a good stream, Chaz. You'll definitely enjoy it. I was actually scared to finish the chapter. Anything could have happened. The Law hat panel hit my heart. You know what's funny about the Law hat panel? If you guys watched, for those of you guys that watched my 1080 live reaction, I thought we found out that Law was defeated by Blackbeard. Even though I was wrong, it was a mistake. But I thought we found out because of his hat. I thought we saw Law's hat in the panel where we see the Blackbeard pirate ship coming to Egghead. And to me, it looked like someone was sitting cross-legged on the front of the ship facing Egghead, holding Law's hat. Even though I was wrong, we still realized that he lost due to his hat. And if you guys remember, what do we all keep comparing this fight to? Bonero Island. And what did we see with Ace? We saw his hat on the ground. And how did Ace end? He died. So I'm just kidding. Law might die, but I don't think he's gonna die like this or right now. Who do you think is the captain on the black ship? I don't have any guesses right now. I think it's more than likely a new character. The Man Marked by Flames is very interesting. Getting a legendary pirate we weren't ready is very Oda. It is very Oda. That is a good stretch. People are really going to try and say these chapters aren't part of Egghead arc. Egghead, I don't know if you can count this as Egghead. I wouldn't count this as Egghead personally, because if you count it, because when One Piece is done and you see Egghead was one of the greatest arcs of all time, it was fantastic. And people are like, all right, well, what happened on Egghead? And you mentioned 90% of what you mentioned didn't even take place on Egghead. I don't know if I would count it as Egghead arc, but you kind of have to because it's in the middle of the arc. No other chapter did this, right? It's like saying Enies Lobby arc was so great. Why? Because Shanks clashed with Whitebeard, Blackbeard fought Ace. We saw the introduction of Monkey D. Dragon as the world's most wanted criminal. But no, because that was in its own bubble, we can now say it is the post Enies Lobby arc. Because it was like that. The stuff with Garp showing up. But imagine that was in the middle of the arc, just constantly happening. it would be hard to say it's not a part of any slobby, even though it's not literally not a part of any slobby except for Garp, because he was on the island itself. The rest wasn't a part of it, but how do you separate it? Lead type Kizaru, best admiral incoming. Kizaru has always been my favorite admiral. He's been my favorite marine aside from Garp, and I'm excited to see him in action. Legit, this types of chapters is why One Piece is worth reading. The previous 1080 chapter, connecting dots after a lot of build up with a satisfying conclusion. Teddy, you just hit the nail right on the mark, or right on the hammer, however that term goes. You just nailed it. You put it perfectly. It was filled with a lot of info, and more so, we'll give it a 5-star. 5 out of 5 stars. What's up, Will Williams, by the way? Welcome to the stream. We're just about to end it. For real, bro, the Wano intermissions were still Wano arc. No. You see, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but when you ask me about Wano, I do not include 957 Ultimate. I do not include the stuff with the Shichibukai abolishment. I include Oden's flashback, and I always say that's the best part of Wano, and that's the good thing about Wano was Oden's flashback, because that's still in Wano. Or at the very least, it started in Wano and it ended in Wano, and it was about Wano. All of it was about Wano and giving us lore to Wano, and not even lore, just a backstory to why Wano is the way it is, and why they are with such a shitty shogun. What happened to Oden? So that's a part of Wano. But I would never say finding out the bounties of the Yonko and Roger and Whitebeard and the abolishment of the water system was a part of Wano. That's just me. I'm not saying that's how it is. I would imagine most people probably do count that as Wano. I just don't. What up, Matt C? He's back. Matt C's back. I'm just explaining the way I see it, Cosmos. At the start of 1079, Oda set up going away from Egghead for a while, an intermission. I don't know, Cosmos, because he's done that every time we've cut from Egghead. He's made it seem like that, and then we'd come back to Egghead, and he'd make it seem like we're gonna stick on Egghead, and then we just cut back again. At the end of 1079, I thought we were going to pick back up on Egghead. And we did, didn't we? 1080 started with Egghead, I think. Or no, it was 1079 that started with Egghead. With York talking to the Seraph. And that was the beginning of 1079. So all of 1079 after the beginning, all of 1080 and all of 1081 have been non-Egghead. And the crazy thing is, I don't even mind going back to Egghead. Because Egghead in itself has been so fantastic. But Oda also picked a perfect time to take a good break from Egghead, because it was right after he revealed who the snake was, right? The snake was York. So after he revealed who the snake was, take a break, and then we go into like the second part of it where we now deal with that. When Egghead is over, we'll hopefully have enough for it to be goated without needing the off-island chapters anyways. I agree, John Phillips. Plus, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know why, but I like indoor arcs. I like arcs that take place like indoor, like Thriller Bark, Punk Hazard, Egghead. There's something about it. It keeps everything confined, and it keeps a lot of the Straw Hats together. I hope Vegapunk gets smoked. Why? Like the Stella or York? Why would you want the Stella to get smoked? He's not joining the crew, but I don't think he's going to get smoked. Maybe the Egghead incident will have all these plot threads combined on Egghead. That would be cool. That's a good point, Cosmos. It is possible because, again, we have Bonnie on Egghead. The stuff with Kuma, the Vegapunk, world government members showing up, admirals, Gorosei members, Blackbeard pirates. Everyone is showing up to Egghead. So Egghead could be where all of these dots connect. Everything happening right now outside of the world. And remember when Shanks... the beginning of 1079, Shanks wanted to find out about Blackbeard and where he is. He's keeping an eye out on him, right? Maybe Shanks eventually does want to make a move on Blackbeard, and maybe that happens on Egghead. Who knows? Because he said, I would have thought for sure Blackbeard would have been on Wano. And Shanks passed by Wano, and we don't know why. We don't know why he passed by Wano. We just know that he did. And he scared away Green Bull. So it's possible he was anticipating Blackbeard showing up, and he didn't, so he retreated. And now if he finds out he's going to Egghead, he might go there too. Both, because he deserves it. Why does the Stella deserve it? But anyways, guys, I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it. This was amazing. 21 likes. Thank you guys. We had a good group of guys here today. We had a good group of guys. Let me shout out everyone. From Matt C, thank you. Cosmos, John Phillips, Will Williams, who pulled in, Teddy, Ringo, Chaz Turner, Star Knight, the usuals. I love seeing the same people here. I love it. Star Knight, Ringo, I said Cosmos. Who else? I think that's it. That was the gang. Good, solid crew. Monkey D. Luffy pulled up from the beginning. He was in. That was a solid crew. For a solid chapter. Max Moon, who I think was the first one to pull up, actually. He was the one that said it was a great chapter. John Phillips and Max Moon, the first ones to pull up. So, all of you guys, if I missed anyone's name, I apologize. Thank you guys for sticking around for this live stream all the way to the end. What a chapter. And I'm glad to see that all of you guys ranked it 9, 10, 11, 12 out of 10 as well. We have a break, but I'll definitely be back for 1082. And I'll have some videos out in the meantime. And as usual, guys, stick around for videos to come out this week. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.